Hi guys, Miss Mickey here again, right in my own backyard. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you've been having fun learning about our animals from Billy Bear. We learned about the armadillo. We learned about the bluebird. Can you name another one we learned about? I'll sign it and you tell me, okay? What was that? The raccoon, that's right. And then there was the fox. Well, today Billy Bear has another animal for me that's been visiting in my own backyard. I wonder what it is. Okay, let's check it out and see. Oh, these are fun and these are interesting. You ready? You ready? I'll give you a hint. It flies and it's black. Well, sometimes it's brown. What do you think it is? I don't know. It is a bat. The big brown bat. You see that? Bat has two different signs in sign language. One of them is take your hands and do this, okay? And then cross them over and tap your shoulders. That's bat. But that's the way a bat sleeps. Did you know that a bat takes his wings and he wraps it around himself like a big blanket and he goes to sleep? But first, he hangs himself upside down. He sleeps upside down. We don't do that, right? So, take your fingers. You know what? You could pretend they're the wings. Point your fingers, bring them in, wrap yourself like a bat, and tap your shoulders. Bat. But when the bat wakes up, it unwraps its wings and then it flies. So this is another sign for bat. Cross your hands, put them out like this, and fly. Can you fly like a bat? Fly. There we go. Fly, 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 fly. Okay, go to sleep. Be a bat. Go to sleep. Wake up and fly. Yay! Fly! Bats are so cool because they only come out at night and they don't see well. They don't see well at all. So they have to depend on their hearing to know whether or not they're going to crash into a tree or if there's bugs around. They come out at night and they eat all the mosquitoes that they can find. You know, I tell you what, no matter how many mosquitoes I would eat, I would never have a full tummy. But it's the bat's favorite food. Oh, and don't eat mosquitoes. We're not bats. But bats, that's their favorite food. And so they fly around eating the mosquitoes right in the air. Snap, snap. Fly, fly. Yeah. And they make a funny sound. They make a screech. It's like a squeak. When they're flying. I see them because I have bats that live in my trees in my backyard. And at night, as the sun is coming down, it's like their alarm clock and they wake up and they fly around outside by my street and you can watch them. They don't fly like birds. They flap more like silly, like this. Like birds, you know, do this. But the bats, they just fly. Because what they're really doing while they're doing that is snapping all the bugs out of the air. I wish they would eat more. I wish I had a lot more bats. But they're fun. They're fun to watch. And they don't hurt us. They don't hurt us. A lot of people are afraid of bats, but they're not going to bother us. We're not a mosquito. They don't want to eat us. So they just want to help us. But they're really cool. Some of them are black and some of them are brown. And they do eat fruit. They do eat fruit and they do eat fish. Yeah, they do eat fish. They live in caves and they live inside of plants, big plants, because if they can find a strong enough branch to hang upside down on, they'll live in a plant. Or they live in a thing called a roost. And that's what I have in my backyard. It looks like a birdhouse, but instead of the hole for a birdhouse in the front, on the bottom of it are holes and they fly up inside of it. And there's little sticks that they can hang on. And so they sleep. I have it in one of my trees, and that's where they go to sleep. I'm sure they sleep other places in my yard because I have a lot of trees. But they like the roost, and they like my trees. And one time I found one sleeping, hanging on the side of one of my plants, on the pot of one of my plants. Yeah, and at nighttime, he was only this big. He was so cute. And then at nighttime, he unwrapped his wings, and he hung there for a little bit, and then he flew away. He didn't come back the next night to sleep there. I think maybe he was lost. Have you ever seen that book Stellaluna, where she's a bat and she falls off of her mom, and then she falls into a bird's nest, and then she thinks she's a silly looking bird, and she teaches all the other birds to sleep upside down? If you can have your grown up, look for the book Stellaluna. It's such a beautiful story about a baby bat, about a little bat that's about just like you, just like you. My brother went to Mexico a long time ago, and he went down into this very, very deep cave. It's called the Cave of the Swallows. And the birds and the bats live in there. And he couldn't get into the cave while the birds were there, because the birds would have been very protective of all their babies. So they can't go into the cave until all the bats leave. All the birds leave. And the birds fly out the same time every day, go looking for their food. And my brother and his son went down into the cave on a rope. And as they were going down on the rope, what they saw all along the walls of the cave were bats. Sleeping. So the bats were sharing the cave with the birds. That was really cool. And then my brother and his son had to climb back up out of that rope and get out of there before all those birds were coming back. But it was a neat experience. He said it looked like Land of the Dinosaurs down there. And all he could see was bats, 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 bats. Isn't that interesting? So let's see. There is a question on here. I wonder what it is. Time for my magic eyes. It says, how do bats locate their prey? Their prey is what they want to eat. Kind of like, so it would say, how do bats locate their food? Okay? Turn it over and let's find the answer. It says, they make a high-pitched noise. Remember I said, ee, ee, that bounces off objects in order to help them, because they have very poor eyesight when flying in the dark. So the sound bounces off of the tree or off of the leaves, and it comes back at the bat. And the bat's like, ooh, that sounds like a mosquito. Or, ooh, that sounds like a tree. I better fly this way. So that's interesting. I wonder if we closed our eyes and we walked around and we made noises, if we could figure out how not to bump into things. I don't think so. But I bet that if you close your eyes, and if you have brothers or sisters, or if you grown-ups are in the house, ask them to go into one of the corners of the room, okay? You close your eyes and have mommy and daddy or your brother or sister stand somewhere in the room and tell them, while your eyes are closed, no peeking, no peeking. While your eyes are closed, tell them to say your name or to tell you something. Like maybe they'll say, I love you, right? Or maybe they'll say, come find me, Blake, right? And then you open your eyes. No, don't open your eyes. Keep your eyes closed and try to figure out where they are, what side of the room they're in. And that's what bats do. They can't see good, but they can hear, and they go towards where the sound is, and that's how they find their food. So close your eyes, have mommy call your name, and go find mommy with your eyes closed. But be really careful, okay? Let's see, this is animal number 5. So we're going to put the big brown bat right here on number 5. And let me show you something. Remember I said bats live in caves? Watch this, look. It says jungle caves, right? Watch this. there's some bats for you living in caves, just like what my brother saw. See that? Isn't that cool? I wonder what else is living in these caves. I'll show you. Okay, you want to see one? Watch this. Watch this. What is that? It's a snake. But here come the bats. There we go. Okay, bye guys. Come back again tomorrow and let's see what animal will be visiting my backyard then. Okay? I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Bye guys. Love you.